patrons and guests, please welcome the flag of the state of Delaware. The flag of the District of Columbia. The flag of the state of Florida. The flag of the state of Georgia. The flag of the state of Maryland. The flag of the state of North Carolina. The flag of the state of Pennsylvania. The flag of the state of South Carolina. The flag of the state of Tennessee. The flag of the state of Virginia. The flag of the state of West Virginia. The flag of Anguilla. The flag of Antigua and Barbuda.
To bring me up. And I asked him, he said he would play You Raise Me Up right as I'm closing.
The flag of
I'm trying to
Aruba.
get a little emotional because I have no humor in this. That's what I'm missing.
The flag of the Bahamas. The flag of Barbados. The flag of Bonaire. The flag of the British Virgin Islands. The flag of the Cayman Islands. The flag of Curacao. The flag of Dominica. The flag of the French Republic, representing French Guiana, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Saint Barthélemy, Saint Martin. The flag of Grenada.
Trying to remember the title of my song.
The flag of Guyana.
You know, it's the talk. It's a title.
The flag of Haiti.
Impossible. Dream, imagine the impossible, and then make it possible.
The flag of Jamaica.
You saw her, Russ?
The flag of Montserrat. The flag of Puerto Rico. The flag of St. Kitts and Nevis. The flag of St. Lucia. The flag of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Big room to talk to.
The flag of St. Martin.
I tend to do that, so I will try to remember it.
The flag of Suriname. The flag of Trinidad and Tobago. The flag of Turks and Caicos Islands. The flag of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
They never talk about it. Don't know. And the flag that unites us all. It's supposed to be.
The flag of Canada, home of the current Rotary International President, Jennifer Jones.
Mic in her hand. She must be singing the national anthem. I'm guessing.
And lastly, the flag that unites us all, the flag of Rotary International. Under the direction of non-commissioned officer in charge, Master Sergeant Ricky Gethers, please rise for the presenting of the colors by the JROTC of Meade High School, located at Fort Meade.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Please welcome to the stage the District Governor for Rotary 7620, our host district, Sean McAlister.
Good evening and welcome to District 7620 and our host city, Baltimore. Hi, my name is Dr. Sean McAlister, and I'm honored to be the current governor for Rotary District 7620, which comprises of Washington, D.C. and Central Maryland. On behalf of our nearly 3,000 members who make up our 106 Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs, welcome to the host district for the 2022 Rotary Zone Summit for 33 and 34. Our district is filled with a lot of wonderful places to visit, from the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains to the tidal marshes and oyster beds of the Chesapeake Bay, to the majestic Potomac River, which runs through our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. District 7620 is truly a cornucopia of great scenery loved by all who work and live in this area. Baltimore, our host city, is one of those examples, filled with unexpected beauty and rich history. I mean, they don't call it the Charm City for nothing. So allow me to share with you 5 reasons why I think this is one of the best cities in the nation. First, Baltimore is a powerhouse sports city with 2 bird-themed professional teams, the Ravens and the Orioles, both of who are just a stone's throw away from here. And for those of you who like a little sports trivia, Baltimore is also known as the birthplace of baseball's great Babe Ruth. Second, if you have an opportunity to venture out for lunch or dinner one day,
I don't think she realized
Baltimore
that lady was
seafood
going
is
to
the
go.
best. And a rite of passage for every visitor to Maryland is to try our blue crabs. Whether you have it in a crab cake, baked in a dip, or steamed in a crab boil, it's definitely a must-have. And third, there's 3. Third, in my opinion, nothing goes better with crabs than a healthy serving of Old Bay seasoning.
Yeah.
Made right here in Baltimore. Old Bay lovers will instantly recognize that yellow can with the red lid on top. And mostly, Old Bay is used for seafood, but in my opinion, I love Old Bay on Five Guys French fries. And fourth, if you know anything about racing, then you'll know the importance of the Triple Crown. Baltimore is famous for hosting the second race, the Preakness, thereby connecting Rotary Zones 33 and 34 to the Triple Crown's 147-year history. And if you're going to the Rotary International Convention in Australia next year, I hope you'll join my district when we host one evening with a special Preakness cocktail party in Melbourne. Bring your fancy hats and your bow ties, and let's show them how we party in Zone 33 and 34. And finally, I promised you 5 things that I liked about this city, and the 5th one's a bit of a stretch. You see, Baltimore, now what we have a new Rotary transplant that's slowly becoming a new Baltimore native, given the number of trips and nights that he has visited our city in the past few months. Born in Rochester, England, Baltimore's newest favorite son is a 34-year Rotarian, past president of the Rotary Club of Grand Caymans. He served as the 2013-14 governor for District 7020 for the Northern Caribbean. I think you all know who I'm going with this. None other than our very own 2022-24 Rotary International Director, Jeremy Hurst. Jeremy.
Good evening, everybody. Fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, welcome to Be More in Baltimore. Thank you. And thank you so much, Sean, for that Baltimore welcome. My accent's getting better as I go on. Baltimore. Oh, sorry, Hon. So Michelle and I are thrilled to welcome each and every one of you to the birthplace of the United States National Anthem. Did you know that? The home of a beautiful Civil War era warship, the USS Constellation, and the National Aquarium. And now the home of Zone 3334's Impact Summit for 2022. And don't forget those crabs, of course. But firstly, please allow me to recognize a number of dignitaries in the audience tonight. Starting with past Rotary International President and Trustee Chair-elect, Barry Rassin and Esther. Rotary International President nominee, Stephanie Urchick. Where's Stephanie? We are so proud of you. Rotary Foundation Trustee Aziz Memon and Serena, welcome. Rotary International General Secretary and CEO John Hugo. John, welcome. Past Rotary International Director Bob Manconi and Monica. Welcome, Bob and Monica. Past Rotary International Director David Michaud and Sarah. I still love that jacket, David. You're in here.
It's on the other side.
Past Rotary International Director John Smarge and Cindy. Past Rotary International Director Robert Hall and the beautiful Charlene.
Probably. 1403. No, that's Cindy.
Past Rotary
Cindy
International Director Jeffrey Correct. What a great speech at lunch today, Jeffrey.
Cindy told me.
Past Rotary International Director David Stovall and Kim Waters. By the way. And past Rotary International Director Peter Kyle, my predecessor.
Where's Peter's wife? Margaret.
These individuals have served and continue to serve in leadership roles in our zone as well as internationally, and we thank them sincerely for their past and current service. Many of them have also been involved in this institute, and we are, as always, grateful for your guidance and your wisdom. In addition to our noted dignitaries, we are pleased to have two Peace Fellows with us tonight. One is Ryan Rowe, who's one of our speakers tomorrow. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
And the other, Karina Ito. Karina, welcome as well. Before we go on, can I just ask us to spend a moment thinking about our fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, their families, and all the communities who have been and are still being impacted by Hurricane Ian. Unfortunately, as we know, not all impact is positive. However, this morning I had the opportunity to sit down at a disaster committee planning meeting with the leaders of these affected districts, proving once again that we are a family that cares deeply about our members, as well as the fact that we are true people of action. Guys, thank you for
last session with the photographs. Apparently I left them all crying.
You have our full
I
support.
had 4 people come up to me and say, just cry my eyes
As you
out."
well know, this summit has been more than a year in the making.
That last
Our
picture of
aim
you
has
and the
been
kids,
to create an
that
event
story.
that challenges you, sparks your interest in what's happening in other parts of the Rotary world, and one that allows you to better understand how we can create optimum impact through partnering with other organizations.
This couple over here, were they?
Whilst here, we hope you'll learn from Rotarians
don't
who
remember.
created sustainable, transformational programs which will encourage you to imagine, or maybe reimagine, Rotary in your districts and communities. I'm particularly excited about the outstanding speakers who have joined us to be here this week, and the fact that they've shared their expertise and passion and hopefully energize you to be more Rotary in your clubs, your districts and communities. Most of our speakers will be here for the whole summit, and we'll of course be joined tomorrow by none other than Rotary International President, our President, Jennifer Jones, and our husband, Nick Kresic. What a special treat.
That's the Imagine.
So let's make sure we give
heard.
everyone who's visiting us a warmer and zones 33 and 34 Rotary welcome. And we take this unique opportunity to interface with them and learn more from them whilst they're here. As you know, it's not possible for Rotarians to get together without a lot of fun and networking. You know that or you don't know that? You know. So you can look forward to your class dinners, to learn to speak more Baltimorese. I think I'm only on level 2 right now. And to a friendly family feud competition and great entertainment and the opportunity to get your Brit on. This was actually scripted for me, so I have no idea what get your Brit on means. But I have to say, it sort of sounds sort of Austin Parish, sort of cool, so we're going to get your Brit on, okay? At our Saturday night finale. Please also take time to visit our amazing House of Friendship, one of the largest we've seen in recent history, and help me recognize our sponsors who've made this summit possible today. And they include Advent Health, the Dark Group from the Cayman Islands, Crescendo, DuckDB, CP Eeks Company, 3 Gold Wings, and the I Foundation of America. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Thank you so much for making this possible. Lastly, it would really be remiss of me if I didn't recognize our local Rotarians under the leadership, as you saw, of District Governor Sean, as well as District Governor-elect Dolores, both of whom work very closely with our summit executive committee in making the summit a reality. Their knowledge of the locale and access to resources has greatly assisted our team in preparing this program. And if you worked on that local committee, please take a moment to stand so we can recognize you and thank you for making us feel so welcome in Baltimore. Well done, guys. Thank you. Fellow Rotarians and friends, tonight is just the beginning of what Michelle and I hope will be a charmed weekend for you, for each of you, in the charmed city. Okay. Our goal is to inspire, to educate, to motivate, and to entertain. So let's be more in Baltimore together. And let's create some noise. Thank you.
My name is Dolores Edwards Harding, and I am District Governor-elect of District 7620. So we are your host city. So excited to have you all here tonight. Thank you for being here. We are welcoming you to Baltimore. Thank you. Tonight I have the honor of introducing our mayor, but unfortunately he will not be able to join us this evening, but his office sent us a proclamation. So I have the honor of reading this, and I'm going to pass this off to Jeremy after it's finished. Beautiful proclamation with the crest of Baltimore. You should know that our mayor is one of the youngest in the nation. He has one of the most difficult jobs you can imagine. This is a very difficult city. For those of you who've been watching the news, he is a very, very dynamic leader, and if you ever get a chance to look him up, just look up his history in Wikipedia or Google his name, Brandon Maurice Scott. So I'm going to read the proclamation. It reads as follows. With the crest of the city of Baltimore, proclamation by Brandon M. Scott, Mayor. Rotary International, Zones 33-34 Day, September 29th, 2022. Whereas, Rotary International, founded on February 23rd, 1905 in Chicago, Illinois, USA, is the world's first and one of the largest nonprofit service organizations. And whereas there are over 1.4 million Rotarians and Rotaractors represented in over 51,000 clubs in over 200 countries and geographic areas. And whereas the Rotary's motto, Service Above Self, inspires members to provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards, and promote goodwill and peace in the world. And whereas Rotary International Director Jeremy Hurst has convened the Zones 33-34 Impact Summit in Baltimore, Maryland, September 27th through October 2nd, 2022, and more than 450 Rotarians and Rotaractors from across these two zones have journeyed here to learn, provide service, and enjoy fellowship. Therefore, I, Brandon M. Scott, Mayor of the City of Baltimore, do hereby proclaim September 29th, 2022 as Rotary International Zones 33-34 Day. In Baltimore, it's a celebration. We are celebrating Rotary International Zone 33-34 Day in Baltimore and encourage Baltimore residents to join me in recognizing the great work of these Rotarians in doing good in the world. In the witness whereof, I have herefore set the great seal of the City of Baltimore to be affixed this 29th day of September 2022. Brandon M. Scott, Mayor. So I think that's a big round of applause. So I'm going to hand this off to you, Jeremy. This is for you, and I'm hoping that this will be a good memory for you of your time here in Baltimore. Thank you for all that you've done to make this a successful event. And I have to bring up one more person.
Before you do that, it's my great pleasure to officially declare this summit open.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, I have the joy of introducing a member of my captain's DGE class to the floor, Brandi Swanson from District 6910 for her Rotary moment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening. So I'm Brandi Swanson from District 6910 in Georgia. Yay! And my Rotary moment came when I did a makeup at the Atlanta Rotary Club and met a gentleman named Bob Hope. Not the dancer, but you know, Bob Hope. A lot of people know him in the crowd. But I asked him to do a favor to help me with a Leadership Gwinnett event. And of course he said yes and did a phenomenal job. And as any grateful Rotarian would do, I wrote him a thank you note that said, "If I can ever return the favor, let me know." Thinking, I mean, he's Bob Hope, he's well connected, I have nothing to worry about, no problem. It could not have been 10 minutes and my phone rings. And it's Bob. "Brandi, thank you for the note. I have a couple of things I could use your help with." "Oh, okay, well, what you got?" "Well, there's a homeless sleep out in Atlanta in November, and for the Covenant House for the youth, and I'd like for you to join me. And then I'd like you to go to Honduras for a service project." Okay, I mean, what I asked you to do was pretty easy, and that's pretty big. "Okay, Bob, I tell you what, let me check with my husband, and I'll get back to you." Now, the sleep out was in November, and it's April, so I have a long time to figure out a way to tell him no. Well, the months passed, and I still haven't done anything, and it was a fundraiser. I was supposed to raise $5,000. I hate fundraisers, and it's cold in November, and I really hate to be cold, worse than I hate fundraisers. So I'm thinking, okay, all right, and the months keep passing, and so now it is 2 weeks before the event, and I have done nothing. And I haven't told him no either. So I go, okay, it can't be that hard. So I sent out emails and a Facebook post and a LinkedIn post, and I asked for $5 because, you know, that just seemed, it's a meal, so no big deal. Within 2 hours, I had raised $2,500. I was blown away. The goal was $5,000. I never did reach that, but I was pretty happy with the $4,000 that we raised, or that I raised. And so again, now it's the day of the event, and I still did not want to sleep out. I live in North Georgia, about an hour from Atlanta. Homelessness is not a problem in Gwinnett County. And Atlanta has the problem, and why on earth would I go to Atlanta for this problem that they have? But again, I couldn't come up with a good excuse, so I drive. I'm in my car, and the whole way I'm driving, and I'm going, God, I do not know why you have me going to Atlanta on a cold night to do this event. I don't get it. I really shouldn't be going down here. I arrive, and I'm the only one from Gwinnett there, and we have these breakout tables where the young people, ages 18 to 21, are sharing how they ended up being homeless. And the young lady that sat at my table, guess where she was from? Even worse than that, she grew up 5 miles from my house and went to high school with my daughter. And her story broke my heart. And it forever changed who I am. And I learned more about myself that night than I could have ever imagined. And Rotary gave me that gift. Thank you, Rotary, and thank you, Bob Hope, and thank you all for listening to my Rotary story.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Rich Kirschner. I'm the past district governor from District 6960 in Southwest Florida. Thank you. I want you to just think with me for a few minutes and remember that each time we come together, we are reminded that some are no longer with us. As certain as we are born, we shall pass, and it is always and should be a somber moment when we reflect on the passing of those who have been in our midst. This meeting, as in past meetings, we will recognize and remember all these wonderful people from all these wonderful places. Rotary, from our very first meeting, has always been about friendship, and every act of our organization carries out things that spring naturally from our primary motivation, acquaintance and friendship. It's the very essence of our existence. So therefore, we do not seek to eulogize, to offer prayers, rituals, or any religious rites. The appropriate prayers and offerings have already been provided by those much more qualified than those of us here. We simply seek to remember our friends, remember the smiles, remember the laughter, the joking, the ribbing, remembering the tears and the sweat as we work side by side to make things a little better for others. This time, as we pause to remember those who have passed, let us not mourn their passing, but rather celebrate their living. Celebrate a life well lived. Celebrate their service. Celebrate the realization that if not for Rotary, we might never have been blessed to know and be in the company of these wonderful people for a small part of our Rotary journey. So in the next few days, we invite you to visit the area in the House of Friendship, where you'll see a list of names, but it's not just a list of names. It's people we knew and loved.
Gotta go.
Take a moment to reflect on your friendship with them, and perhaps snap a photo to take back to their loved ones and let them know that we did not forget them. And then join with us on Sunday morning as we pause for a moment to recognize them once again, to speak their names, and to remember them as our friends. Thank you very much.
Yeah, baby. Good evening. My name is Alex Wilkins, and I attended Top Gun, so thank you very much. I am the marketing chair for this event, and I am pleased to do that with an amazing team. But what I want to draw your attention to tonight is this card on your table and the social wall. If you think you're too old to post something on the social wall, you are incorrect. Please take a moment, open your camera and point it at this QR code and follow the very simple directions and make this the life of the party. I promise you, you can do it. I promise you. If you have any trouble at all, ask me. I did it, and it can be done with you too. And you can post to this social wall. Give it a try. In addition to what I'm supposed to say, I want to go not quite off script, but Marcy's going to help me with this, and I would like to wish an extremely happy birthday to Rajent Majender, who is, shall we say, more than 90 today, older than 90. So please join me sing to Majender, please. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jane.
Happy birthday to you. Thank you all very much.
Please welcome to the stage 2022 District Governor-elect trainers Mary Berge, Rich Kirschner, John Medina, and partner trainer Dee Dee Medina.
John and Dee Dee could not be with us tonight due to the storm.
But it is now our pleasure to introduce to you the district governors of 2023-24. For Zone 33 from District 7280, John Marshall. Jennifer Clayton. And from District 7360, Herb Smith. From District 7545, Jordan Feathers.
From District 7570, Aaron Van Allen and Kathleen. From 7600, Rudy Garcia and Catherine. From District 7610, Renee Laws. From District 7620, Dolores Edwards Harding and James. And from District 7630, John Mocker.
From District 7670, Sean Gibson, who could not be here tonight, unfortunately. But from District 7680, we have Deb Corbett. And from District 7690, Van Langford and Ann. From District 7710, Veronica Bent and Wynn.
District 7720, Tony Santori and Kathy. From District 7730, Alan Quigley. From District 7750, Renee Stubbs and Steve. And from District 7770, Lou Mello and Teresa.
For Zone 34, from District 6890, Steve Overton and Janice, however, because of the storm, they could not be here tonight. So from District 6900, Andre Mariah and Walter Mariah Jr. From District 6910, Brandi Swanson. From District 6920, Felix Smith. And from District 6930, Douglas Heiser and Deanie.
From District 6940, Carrie Ann Schultz. Could not be here. From District 6950, Chris Casella, who also could not be here. From District 6960, Alfred Current and Karen. From District 6970, John Tabor. From District 6980, Don Harris and Janie. And from District 6990, Barbara Goby.
From District 7000, Maria del Carmen Pacheco and Jose Orza, but however, they could not be here again because of the storm. So from District 7020, David Kirkcaldy and Christina. From District 7030, Brian Glasgow. Please join us in congratulating the district governors from 2023-24. Now, would you please give us a warm welcome to the district governor from 7280, Mr. Jack Cohen.
Hey, I'm lucky. This is a great way to spend my birthday. I get to introduce Stephanie Urchick tonight. So I don't know if you all know about Stephanie and the things she's accomplished so far. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about her. She's got considerable experience in executive management, leadership consulting, inspirational speaking. She's a partner and COO of Doctors at Work, LLC, a company assisting strategic business growth. Her qualifications in international relations with a master's degree in education and a doctorate in leadership studies. A Rotarian since 1991, Stephanie is a member of the Rotary Club of McMurray, Pennsylvania, and served many important Rotary roles. A few include Rotary Foundation trustee, district governor, international training leader, president's representative, and is a member of various Rotary International committees and various club and district foundation roles. She's a major donor and a member of the Bequest Society of the Rotary Foundation. Currently, she's helping partner clubs in the U.S. with Rotary clubs in Kosovo, Albania for humanitarian and educational service through Call to Kosovo. an initiative, and is assisting TRF with its Rotary Women's Philanthropy Weekends. Active in numerous boards and committees, Stephanie has been named Rotarian of the Year for both Rotary District and her Rotary Club, and received Distinguished Service Award from the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. Stephanie has many other interesting things that I'd like to tell you about. I think she'll be okay with these. How many of you knew that her title used to be the Pierogi Queen? She actually won that award. And there's a couple other ones that I think you'll like to know. Believe it or not, she dressed up. Maybe I won't hold that one yet. I think I'll use that at another time. I think she'd get a little embarrassed perhaps. Well, anyway, I could just tell you, she scouting for a Canadian football team too. Her long and impressive list of qualifications. Think about what she's done in the past and what she's going to do for all of us in the future. I am blessed because she's my friend. Stephanie, please.
Thank you, Jack. Oh, family of Rotary, I have just a few minutes to share some thoughts with you. You know, I have been in front of all of the training groups today except the current governors. So all of the training rooms that I visited, you've heard me talk about becoming simply irresistible, and you've just heard that music. And when I was talking with you, I was talking about how important it is for us to get our clubs to become simply irresistible. But tonight I want to share with you my opinion of what it means to be a simply irresistible zone. All right? And those of you who are not from zones 33 and 34, too bad. Sorry. Because I'll tell you right now, I've said it before, these are the best two zones in the Rotary. And the barometer I use is the same one that I use when I measure clubs, and that's the 4 priorities of our action plan. So when you talk about impact, all you have to do is look at the program and look at the things that we do in these zones. Feed 10 million, I don't know if you looked in the program, but almost 7 million meals were served last year. That's impact. Empowering girls as our clubs do things to improve the lives of young women. The Rotary Works program, where we're changing careers and lives for people. The Young Peace in Action, Youth in Action program. You know, one of the things that's important to me is healing a divided world. And what could be more impactful than working with young people as they get that message? And we have the CART program, and many of you may have heard on the news today the exciting news that there's a new drug that passed its 3rd clinical trial, and it may slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. And of course, hand wash. Think about that. Think about impact. Delivering clean water to every person in the entire country of Haiti. That's impact. And then we think about the priority that speaks to us about expanding our reach. Well, you know what? Think about what happened in 1968 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Rotaract was born, okay? That's in our zone. And today there are more than 10,000 Rotaract clubs around the world, more than 200,000 Rotaractors in more than 180 countries. That's impact, and it's started here in these zones. Of course, don't forget we have other important things happening when we talk about reach. We have Rotary coordinators and innovative club advocates who are doing their work. And don't forget the impact model. The satellite model of impact started right here in our zones. And then we talk about engagement, engaging participants. And the participants are not just members, although they certainly are part of that group. It's anybody who comes into the magic of Rotary. I can't help but think about the non-Rotarian speakers that are interacting with us this weekend. What do they think about us when they interact with us? Or the people at this hotel who interacted with Director Jeremy and his fabulous committee that put this weekend together. Those are all people who were experiencing Rotary for the first time. And then I can't help but share with you, I happen to be on the WhatsApp platform for all the classes. I'm a silent partner. I don't answer, but I read everything. And starting the day before yesterday, every one of those classes, every one of you were reaching out to each other saying, how can I help? We have a bad weather event coming. What can we do? All right, that's caring for each other. And that's why this zone is so incredibly irresistible. And the final one of our priorities is making sure that we figure out how to adapt and how to change. And that really means two things. The first one is technology. Well, I think all of you know that I was a COVID director. And I was in 51 countries, but never left my kitchen table. And one of the casualties of my directorship was the summit that we were supposed to have in Pittsburgh. But under the brilliant leadership of my chair, Jeremy Hurst, we did a virtual summit, and it was fabulous. It was so fabulous, that when Rotary was looking to do its first virtual international convention, they called our team to get ideas because they saw it and they thought it was so good. That's our zone. That's how good we are. And the final part about adapting is really looking at our structure. And you've heard all of us talk about it. I've talked about it, and Jeffrey talked about it today at lunch. Just, you know, changing our structure to make sure that we're relevant. Well, I want to tell you one important story to me about structure. 3 years ago, Rotary went through some rezoning. And there were 3 districts in Pennsylvania, and I happened to live in one, and I had been selected as a director. And you, as 2 zones, opened up your hearts so wide, and you took me and all 3 of those Pennsylvania districts and said, come on down, all right? We will never forget that. The first time I met Kim and David Stovall, they were just absolutely open and said, you know, we're gonna make this work and it's gonna be wonderful, and it really has been. So ladies and gentlemen, I will simply finish by saying, these are the 2 best zones in the world. And thank you for being so simply irresistible. Thank you so much. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a person who in this group really is already well known. Past Rotary International President Barry Rassin is a respected and loved Rotarian from District 7020. Long before he was selected as Rotary International President, he was recognized as the consummate professional and a Rotarian's Rotarian. A 2018 article noted that he balanced the Bahamian congeniality and friendliness with decisive and impactful leadership. That's definitely Barry. He was a driving force in recognizing the importance of Rotaractors in our organization, and prior to his presidency, he served as director, Rotary Foundation trustee, and is currently the Rotary Foundation trustee chair-elect. An RI training leader and seminar leader for International Assembly, he has served on a number of Rotary International committees as both a member and as a chair. Barry and Esther were aides to Ravi and Vanity Ravindran, who was president in 2015-16. Barry is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and has received the Service Above Self Award. He's been recognized by the Bahamas Minister of Health and Pan American Health Organization with the National Award of Health Hero and received the Healthcare Development Leadership Award. He's achieved the Icon Award for Commerce in the Bahamas. In 2018, he was made an Officer of the Order of Distinction by the Bahamian government. Barry and Esther live in Nassau, Bahamas, and have 3 children and 5 grandchildren. So please, zones 33 and 34, please give a warm Rotary welcome to our keynote speaker, past our president, Barry Rassin.
Tonight we ask you to imagine the impossible and then make it possible. You know, I have to admit, I'm a dreamer. Quite often my wife tells me to please stop dreaming. Even a member of my Rotary Club, he was also on the board of the hospital I worked at, he said, please stop coming up with these new ideas. We don't have the money or the time to do it. But I can't, it's just who I am. And then along comes our incredible president, Jennifer Jones, and says, imagine Rotary. She just opened the door to everything. And she should have opened that door for all of you to imagine the things that we can do in this organization. And I think what we have to do is first start with our communities. Imagine if your community, every single person in your community knew what Rotary was, knew who you were, knew who the clubs were, they would want to be a part of what we do. Who can do that? You get used to me. When I ask questions, I expect answers. Who can make that happen? Absolutely you can. If you triple your membership in your community will know who you are. Am I right? So let's work with those communities. Let's get that image of who we are. Tell them why we do what we do. And then, of course, when we look at the bigger picture, the world, look at the examples we have of how we have imagined a better world. An individual in the Philippines said, I don't like the fact that our kids are getting polio, getting crippled, dying. We need to fix this. And he started in 1979 vaccinating children. We took it on as a global project in 1985. This year, we've had 27 children with polio. Too much, but that's much better than the 350,000 a year that we had back then. Now, I know Trustee Aziz will bring you up to date with all the details of where we are with that, because the World Health Organization is still telling us next year we're going to see our last case of polio. I think that deserves. So we imagine the impossible. If anybody had told us that that was impossible, we might have stopped, right? But we didn't. We said we can do this. We can save the children of the world, and we did it. Now, what else have we done? You heard Stephanie mention hand wash. One person had this feeling that we need to do whatever we can to make the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere better. And started out with a dream to bring water to every citizen of the country. Start talking around to Rotarians, and thank you, Jeremy and John Smarge, because you guys have brought that to a reality. We have started that process. We will get water to every citizen of that country. This could take us time. I may not live to see the end of that. But I can be proud that we've started the process in spite of all the barriers that everybody says we have. It's going to happen. We imagine the impossible, and we're going to make it possible. Talk about the environment. Back in 1990, President Paulo Costa started a program to plant trees because he wanted to replace the rainforest that was getting destroyed in Brazil. So he started a program for the environment. Preserve planet Earth. Okay, sometimes things take a time. We have to have the patience. President Ian Risley, when he was president, he said, let's plant 1 million trees. So he was picking up where we left off, and we planted multi-millions of trees during that year. Incredible impact on the environment. Then I talked about the fact that my country is going to be underwater in 50 years. Each piece of that started feeding together to the trustees. The trustees said, we have to do more for the environment. Rotary clubs and Rotary clubs around the world have already been doing programs for the environment through the other 6 avenues of service, areas of focus, but they said, no, we're going to create its own area of focus, which we did. Now we have a focus on the environment. Now we can tell the world that we are going to make an impact to make our world better environmentally. That's gigantic. That's getting support from all avenues of the world. Some would say it's impossible, you can't do it. Who can make that happen? Rotary. Nothing is impossible for Rotary. I'm a firm believer that whatever we set our minds to, we can do. And I've given you examples of how we've done that over time. So we have to imagine all those things that could be better. But then we have to turn inward and ask ourselves to do what Jennifer has asked. Imagine Rotary. What do we have to do to imagine Rotary, the Rotary, that can take care of these challenges that are around the world? There's lots of them. So how do we do that? And who's going to do that? Each and every one of us need to think about what can we do in our community with Rotary. Is it about bringing in new members? Question. No. I tricked you there, okay. It's about engaging the members of the clubs that we have right now. We've got 46,000 clubs, 1.4 million members in 200 countries around the world, and many of them are not understanding Rotary and not engaged. My dream is that every single one of them become engaged, understand Rotary. They're a part of our service projects. They're a part of everything we do. That's the impossible that we need to make possible. Because if every member gets engaged, we won't lose that 163,000 that Jeffrey told us about. Well, we've been losing 150,000 a year for a number of years. We actually went up to 163,000. But the total doesn't vary much because we're good at bringing them in. But we need to dream how to keep them. And that means each one of you need to work with the clubs individually. You heard Stephanie talk about it. We need to focus on our clubs. Imagine if every club was engaged. Imagine if every member participated in our service projects. Imagine if every member donated something to our Rotary Foundation. How much more could we do? How much more impact could we have in our world to make it a better place? And I'll tell you ahead of time, in the year 23-24, our goal will be published that we will anticipate every club and every member around the world donating something to our Rotary Foundation. Now, I'm told by certain people that that's impossible. Okay. We can make it possible. You tell me if every one of you didn't go home and talk to your club tomorrow and tell your clubs that this is what our goal is going to be, and you need to be a part of that so that Rotary can do more to help people around the world. It means you have to tell the stories. You have to tell the stories of the people we help. Remind them why they are a member of this organization. Remind them about the water that we're giving to people in Haiti who otherwise wouldn't have it, who otherwise would get sick because they have no sanitation. Remind them of the schools that we need to help, and we bring children to an education. Remind them that we want to empower women around the world. We want to make sure they're educated because they will educate their families. Who here has a dream that every child in the world gets an education? That was only half the hands in the room, so I'm a little worried, but okay. But that's what we have to be thinking. We have to set our goals on what specifically can we do to make the world a better place. And we can do it. We've done it. We need to keep doing it. We need to do it tenfold. So I really ask you to think deeply about what is your impossible that you'd like to see changed. What is the one program in the Rotary world that you want to make a difference with? And then talk about it to others. Get others on board to make it happen. In the Rotary world, we can do whatever we need to do to make our world better. So we're going to help our communities. If you engage the members and the communities know, then the community is going to be more willing to help you. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Yes. Thank you. It's about engagement. It's about stop being shy about telling our communities what we do and showing them the people that we help. Earlier, I showed a picture to one of the district governor groups of a classroom with about 100 students, 10, 11 years old, and my wife, Esther. Show those kind of pictures and make sure they understand that every one of those children, their life was changed because a small club in Malawi got a global grant to give them toilets. Sounds small, right? But that changed their lives. That enabled them to get the education they need to get because of a global grant from one club. There's 46,000 clubs. If every one of those clubs did that, we'd accomplish our goal. We'd get the education around the world that we need. You can do it. And I totally agree with Stephanie. This is the best 2 zones in the world. And that's on so many different levels. I mean, you guys should be so proud. Your chest should swell every time you hear about what Rotary does, because somebody in these zones are a part of making that happen. Now, I have lots of dreams. I imagine what Rotary can be. I imagine Rotary with 50, 60,000 clubs. And that's not that big. 50,000 is only a 10% increase. How hard is it to get a 10% increase in every community around the world with our clubs? I envision us with at least 2 million members. There's no reason not to. Again, that's not far away. If we complete the Rotaract process to get our Rotaractors up to speed and truly with the equality, they're going to join Rotary clubs. And when they do that, we're going to grow by 100,000 members. Immediately, we've increased our ability to do more hands-on and more service around the world. Those are the kind of things we have to keep doing. So it's about imagining the impossible and remembering that we can make everything possible. My imagination says that I want to see our communities respond when our presidents go into a community. Not just the Rotarians and the Rotaractors, but the community itself. When you go into certain communities in an African country, in Haiti, the entire community responds to the fact that you're wearing a Rotary pin and they know you've helped them and changed their life. Every community in the world should have that same feeling. So my imagination goes to a song that we all like, Raise Me Up, which we're going to play for you right now.
To more than I can be.
When President Jennifer, President Gordon, President Stephanie go into a community, the entire community should be standing up and saying, yes, you raised me up. You raised me up to be more than I can be. I know that. I appreciate that. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your time.
My name is Bob Gross, and I serve District 7770 in eastern South Carolina as the district governor. I'm honored to have the opportunity to thank our keynote speaker, past RI President Barry. He is always an inspiration with a compelling story, and I never tire of hearing Barry share his vision. And he never ceases to leave us with a sense of duty to continue the good work of Rotary. We can make it possible. We will make it possible. Thank you, President Barry.
Thank you.
Now, I realize that I'm the one between you and your hospitality suites. But I have a list of things that I need to mention to ensure that you know all the things about the summit. So don't blame me, I'm just the messenger. A number of our classmates and friends are dealing with the ravages of both hurricanes Fiona and Ian. Please keep them in your thoughts. If you have a place card at your seat, please leave it there. Please leave it on the table. Now, because we have a number of folks who have joined us for the first time, please note the exits on the sides and the rear, as we will be in this room for the remainder of the summit. If you would like to download the program online, turn to the middle of your program brochure and snap the QR code. Please follow the directions, and the password is Rotary 2022. In your hospitality bag that you received is a black stage pass with a number. Hang on to that. That will be your lucky number, or not, for our raffle prizes. Now, if you've already thrown it away, that's okay. That gives me better odds. Thank you very much.
Is that what he's talking about?
Also, at the end of each session, you will receive a short evaluation survey through DACDB. Please take time to complete it. Now, tomorrow, breakfast is on your own. We will begin at 8:15 sharp, and we have a special guest. The governor of the great state of Maryland will be opening our session, so you don't want to be late. Tomorrow morning is a full schedule of fantastic speakers who are going to focus on Rotary's two key areas of focus: partnerships and empowering women and girls. And then you get to spend the afternoon enjoying the sights and sounds of the city of Baltimore. Thank you and good evening.